You So welcome back everybody to the Cape Coast Stadium. Umar Chomogo has sent Benin out for the second half on a rescue mission. The men in the yellow down to 10 men following the sending off of Marcelo Kukpo. But by no means are Benin out of it. The stadium continues to fill. This is the first of two semi-finals today. And of course, the greatest local interest will revolve around Ghana against Niger later, but it is going to be Nigeria in the final for the winners of that one at the moment. Nigeria in front here, sparkling stuff early on from them, but they got sloppier and sloppier as it went along. So it's still very much alive, and this fellow here is a real threat, Charbel Gomez. Not much of him, but very bright. Up front today, Moses and Potu, with Ali in behind, very, very bright early on for Nigeria. But they faded, and the team went backwards, and they rather lost their control of it. And that would be very troubling for their coach, Salisa Yusuf. So they have to pick it up here at the start of the second half. Ben.
Well, so Nigeria will rely on Wabiru Ali. And of course, they expect more, and fans will love to come in and enjoy this game. But let me also say this, but the two teams remain unchanged, quite apart from the fact that, well, Chomogo lost the man, Kukpo, who picked up that silly red card. But Salisu really himself should be pleased about what he's been able to see, but a bit worried the last couple of minutes before the end of the first half. But when coming back in the second half, it's going to be a different story.
Well, they need it to be. They need to start this second half the way they did in the first half. That is what they're looking for here.
You did say you love the music in the stadium, didn't you?
Oh, the music's been brilliant.
We might probably have Jacques Besson maybe later in the second half coming into the game. He did play against Niger, and he was replaced today by the big man up front for Benin. Unfortunately, Kukpo is out. Elebede is yet to click. Second half, perhaps.
So underway, Nigeria 1-0 up at half-time in this first of the semi-finals at the 2017 West Africa Football Union Cup of Nations, but an easy lead it is. Fassinu, as Ben pointed out, has been an attacking threat throughout this tournament, but not a lot today in that respect. Going forward from right back for Benin, that will be something that maybe the coach Chomogo will try to rectify. Bayere, much more potent down the left for Benin so far, but he's got to recover quickly here, and he did. Just that bit more composure needed by Benin in this second half. Individually, they got rattled. It was quite a tetchy affair at times in the first half, and their discipline let them down in a big way. But let's not jump to conclusions, because remembering the extraordinary sequence of events in the game against Niger in their last group game, anything can happen. And they're very much a team that can make anything happen.
Well, not a good situation there for Benin, with Yaro going down after that challenge there by Potu. He probably might have a little bit of a knock from the elbow to his waist.
To his hip, yeah. I know it can be painful, but when you're rolling around like that, generally it indicates that it's not exactly life-threatening, hopefully.
Well, they got Patin Konu, who probably might have to slot in there. Look at that.
Well, a player essentially got yellow carded for play acting, and it led to severe consequences for Benin. That's essentially what Kukpo was doing, to get this yellow that's turned red for him. And I know it hurts, but I don't really think we needed all the dramatics from this fellow.
You know, sometimes players do this just to court the referee to give a card out to the offensive player, but sometimes when it's at the blind side of a referee, you don't need to.
So right now, Benin down to 9. Okoru's header for Nigeria. On by Potu. Flag's gone up. And that's where they would have missed their centre-back, who's beginning to move again. Wonder of wonders. Surprise, surprise. Now he's keen to get back out there again. Well, you wanted to go off a couple of minutes ago, but you left a big space right there. And not sure Fasinu quite was on the same page. The right-back was well behind the other defenders, and that could have been so costly. Benin back to 10. Ifeanyi. Played forward by Okoro. Okpotu giving chase. Mojinon sees him off well. Gomez couldn't go for that. Ariwa Chukwu might have dealt with that slightly better, actually, the Nigerian centre-back. And Nigeria looking a bit exposed here. Held up by Bayere. Here goes Gomez again. The crowd are really taking this fellow to their hearts. And more noise for Benin, who win it back.
You know
at the
what?
expense of a free kick.
You know what, Paul? This man is beginning to be the major problem for Nigeria. He's so quick on the ball. He's got real skills. Was that a handball situation? That's what the fans are asking.
Yes, they are asking. We're also asking what has happened to the free-flowing football we were witnessing from Nigeria for the first 25 minutes of this game. It was hoiked forward then in the direction of Okpotu, who has it back at least. And he tries to use it well. Moses went for it. It's another good ball forward. Benin are getting into their rhythm again here. Elegbede coming to life. Slipped by Okoro, and it's Gomez once more for Benin. The crowd are all on his side at the moment. He kept going and going, and Nigeria, Ben, I'm sorry, they have fallen apart here. They look so tentative. What is going on?
Well, they're gone sleeping and allowing the entertainer for Benin, Gomez, to always come in here. He makes the stadium lively. He keeps the fans on their seat, and of course they love every move of him. Nigeria centre-backs are really having a difficult time, but on the flip side, well, that was an opportunity there for Friday. Ubon was expecting a little bit of a touch there from Moses.
10 men, 1-0 down, but right in the contest, Benin. Free kick won by Elegbede, who's beginning to make his mark up front. The man brought in today by Chugoma for Benin. They drop for Saliu. Fasinu. Good ball by him. Great chance, and it fell for Elegbede, the man who got the famous goal against Niger last time out, and he's missed it.
I tell you what, Paul, anytime Fasinu makes a running down the flanks, you know it's a dangerous ball that's going to get in. And Elegbede just nicked this kind of balls in the 18-yard box. Look at that. He was just I don't think that he really was expecting that ball to come straight at him. If he was, it would have been a huge connection for a goal.
How dangerously Nigeria are now living.
Well, it's been a good second half for the last couple of minutes there for Benin. They really look like a team that have the urge as if they are on the lead. But Nigeria do have the lead. Benin trailing, but Benin is playing some incredible football.
Benin, the team in charge, I agree with you. Should be 1-1, Elegbede should be scoring that. Nobody needs to remind him about that. Well, that rather punctures the balloon for the moment. Rising optimism, and especially with this fellow Charbel Gomez pulling all the strings for Benin. Potter's won the free kick.
Very strong player, so the only way to get the ball off him is to push him down. And a difficult situation maybe for Benin now.
Rabiu Ali to take it for Nigeria. Good looking ball in. Goalkeeper wasn't ever going to get there. Benin hold firm.
Was a good attacking header from Yaro Nabil. At least he was able to cover the goalkeeper pretty well. Remember, they're a man down, and so they need to really protect the back four in order not to get more goals hitting the back of the net. Good play, Yaro.
Quick restart by Fasinu. Maybe a bit too quick on that occasion. Benin will get another go here. And they're giving it a real go in every respect. Elegbedi's gone over. He's got another free kick for Benin. Saliu has come to life as well, hasn't he, the number 9? And it looks as though Chimogo, the coach, Ben, he has said to Saliu at half-time, look, you go and get closer to Elegbede, because they're making things happen. And this fellow also, Gomez, a huge influence.
It's not only him, but watch Fasino. He's not attacking. He's not more defensive like he was in the first half. And that's how come you see a lot of balls going into the penalty area of Nigeria, making life very difficult for them as well.
Let's see what he can do with the free kick here, Rodrigue Fasinu. Nigeria have left 2 men up the field. If they can win it and use it quickly. Just a bit too much on it for Junior Solomon. It's reached Gomez. Okoro fighting with him. May have been clipped by Gomez.
Gomez had to, he lost the ball, needed to track back to defend. At least a free kick is all good for him for now.
Okoro's been a bit of a bag of nerves, honestly, against the tricks of Gomez in this game. But it's been a very nervous performance all round by Nigeria for quite some time here in this semi-final. Evening shadows beginning to fall. It's been a beautiful day, bright sunshine, very warm, and it's warming up here now in the Cape Coast Stadium with the second semi-final about an hour away, a little bit more than that. Ghana against Niger.
Well, so Ibrahim Gassau, leader of delegation for the Nigerian team. Well, you always see him in the dressing room of the Nigerian team, and he's always giving them something good to cheer about.
Mixed feelings right now, I should think, but they have a corner. Taken by Ali. Wasn't missing by much. Friday John went for it.
Good ball in. Friday Obon did a good one to attack the ball pretty well, the near post. Remember, even if you had missed the ball, you had to put 2 just right behind him.
Adele under it. Akas. Nigeria free kick against Mama, ever present in the campaign. These battling Benin players, I'm sure everybody in the federation, everybody watching at home, will be very proud of their endeavours, and still very much in this contest. Aremu can't get it. Here come Benin. Adelaide conceding a free kick. Where has Nigeria's composure gone?
I was expecting something to happen to the Benin side, and the scores of Benin beginning to bring in more attacking play into the game because they realize the Nigerians are sitting deep. What you need to do is get the balls into them, and so I can see Osini Anide coming in and possibly maybe taking out Saliu, and rightly so, as Anide has got a pace and he can actually work well with Elebede.
So it's a positive move by Benin as they chase this, but they're chasing it very hard anyway, and pretty impressively.
Smell running there for Benin in the game. Nigeria very disappointed at least that Remo hasn't really quite sparkled in the second half. And of course, I'm not seeing a lot of work for Fenye and the centre forwards of Nigeria. They have not been able to get the ball down to Opotu. And of course, Ali has also drifted deep into midfield. And so what they do, or is happening right now, is that you have Opotu all alone up front and nobody really supporting him.
Anide involved straight away, getting a free kick straight away. Elbede. They're really going for it here, Benin, the 10 men. Mown down by Arira Chukwu. He's got to be careful, remembering that he's on a yellow card.
Well, the university students are trooping into the stadium to wait for the Black Stars game, but what is happening is that Benin do have a free kick. Good position for them. If it was well taken, they can't create problems for Nigeria.
They continue to create problems for Nigeria. Yara wasn't far away from getting on the end of the last set piece, remember. What spirit Benin are showing, and the crowd rising to them. Nigeria suddenly feeling quite far from home here.
Good defensive blow from Adele. Really had to do that work because Junior Solomon was just making sure that at least if he misses the ball, he would take advantage. What you're seeing right now is the radio commentary happening live on every radio station with a personal representative down here. They're talking about the game and they love it.
Many radio stations make that. Brilliant atmosphere, huge interest in Ghana and of course right across Africa. All brought to you on Fox Sports Africa and across the continent on our affiliate channels. It's going much further afield as well, this tournament. A runaway success it has been. Nigeria could have been running away with this semi-final, but that's not how it has panned out. Here come Benin. Arguably the better side, really, for the last, 15-odd minutes in this second half and the last 15 minutes of the first half.
They have composed. I'm not saying Benin to be the side who have lost the man. I'd rather see Benin to be a side who have more men playing the game than Nigeria.
Absolutely. And it's the exact opposite in the case of Nigeria, who knocked it around so well for the first 20 minutes. Probably their best spell of the tournament. But where has that all evaporated to? Nobody wants it for them. Moses gets it down at least. Hoiked into the sky by Akas. And it goes wrong again for Nigeria.
So this is what Nigeria really want to do. They want to have Opotu just a low man up front. Hoist the balls to him.
Well, one back by Ifeanyi, however. Now a bit of room for Ali. Good ball in, but again, the first player to react was wearing a yellow jersey.
By Yere, the left full back. He needed to do this. He needed to do this. Perfect. Friday Obon was waiting for the ball. Benin really have sold themselves well in this game. They played beautiful football and really looking like a side that is ready to wrestle the point away from Nigeria and get into the finals.
A little bit of concern for Ogulola. Ibrahim Ogulola. Ifeanyi for Nigeria in the background there, not looking entirely comfortable either.
Getting the first half of the game, Benin attacked more from the left flank. Of course, Bayero was the man doing a lot of running. Nigeria attacked more centrally, and that's how come they were able to get a goal.
Change of taker, Peter Moses for Nigeria, and that's straight at the goalkeeper. Took no chances with it. Nice idea. You can score a goal like that, we know, but there needs to be more pace on it. And now they're changing back again. So Rabiu Ali quickly restored to corner kicking duties for Nigeria. Goalkeeper claiming it well, very well. Looking for a quick release. And a good release it was too, and he's found Anyide, who goes again here, and he's got goal side of Okoro. And Okoro's all a dither, the right back at the moment. He's had a couple of bites here. Helped out in the end by Ifeanyi, but that was the biggest, clearest free kick I've seen in several months, I think.
Yeah, and it gets what? Good ball there from Gomez to Anyide. He knew he can pick up Anyide at any time on the flanks.
Quickly taken. Benin playing their way into the Nigeria box. Okoro again has a couple of bites at it. He gets a free kick his way this time.
Benin looking for a penalty. Any ball that struck the body of a Nigerian player, they appeal for a penalty.
What would concern me more then, Ben, for Nigeria was that nobody really switched on when the restart was taken so quickly. All so different when heads dropped, when Marcelo Konko was sent off for a second yellow card offence. That was the first one, and here again is the second one. Simulation on the edge of the box. Referee wasn't fooled. No free kick, no penalty, but have a yellow card, young man. A second, and he was off. But ever since that moment, Benin have lifted their individual level of performance considerably. And collectively, they never give up.
Well, Benin have made a switch there. Jacques Besson is in now for Elebede. Good substitution. Besson has got power as well. He played in the match against Niger, though. Jacques Besson. Good stoppage from Yaro. And again, Nigeria will use their strength in midfield to come in hard at Benin.
Still Salisa Yusuf resists trying to change the personnel around for Nigeria, which is quite ironic given the amount of changes they've made through the tournament. Now, just eluded Moses. He went over, but the ball had obviously run away from him, in the opinion of the referee. Adelaide for Nigeria. Rare foray into opposition territory, and really and truly, he should know better. He really should know better.
Well,
have a look at this by Moses. Facina was the defender. The referee couldn't have been any better placed.
I thought I'd get his legs out a little bit. Not too hard of a contact though, but could have been a penalty to somebody.
Ifeanyi. Little flick by Ali didn't really work out. Nothing's working out for Nigeria, except that overall they still lead 1-0.
Well, I think they're beginning to open up a little bit now, trying to pink some balls with some pretty partings though, but Benin overall have given out some inspiration.
Huge inspiration. Claimed by Azenwa. Nigeria will shortly make a change. They're first. You mentioned inspiration, but surely this will inspire all the so-called minnows of West African football about what's possible in this game. Aremu to Ifanye. As you said rightly, Ben, a bit more control from that area now, Nigeria. Akas went for it, and he goes over, but he's offside. And Nigeria want to make their change.
Yeah, so Matthias coming in, but again, look at this.
Well, I'm not sure he was offside, was he? And the assistant is not in line, far side either. So a small let-off there for Benin. That's the end of the day for Friday, John. Hopefully he'll be back on Sunday.
Hopefully.
For the final.
Well, Samuel Matthias played the first game, and at least coming back in the game, he's hoping to exert some bit of energy and strength in the midfield. Samuel Matthias. John Ubon Friday was indeed one of the exciting players for Nigeria against Ghana. I can understand the reason Coach Salisu Yusuf decided to keep him in.
Strange, really, the inspiration for both teams in the last group game now are off the field.
Yeah, strange it is.
Jules Elegbedi brought in today by Benin, but it didn't really happen for him, and now he has been withdrawn. Just over 20 minutes in this first of the semi-finals. Potu coming to life briefly.
Well, he has really been part of the second half for Nigeria, except for this one. Maybe because he's not seen plenty of the ball. The midfield of Nigeria not clicking. It's the reason Matthias is in the game.
Here goes Okoro. Has he weathered the storm? It's been quite a test for him. It's a better ball by him as well. And that to be got right. Steve Gologinon did very well there, because Moses threatened to elude him.
Well, I think Benin have done a good job to hold on tight to what is happening, because they are on the disadvantage, yet Nigeria find it difficult breaking them down.
The expulsion of Kukpo seemed to have shaken all of them up, and they've been exemplary in so many ways since then. Second semi-final following, after a short delay, the host Ghana against Niger. So much scrutiny in this host nation on these players, mostly young players. The blip against Nigeria has been forgiven in the group stage, because they remember they were already qualified for their place in the semi-final. But they've got to show themselves to be fresh and ready to go again today. Nigeria are looking a bit more refreshed here. Moses has gone down, and there's not much dispute that that is a yellow card for Solomon.
Yeah, that's a professional yellow card he's just received for his team. Gina Solomon, he knew he was not going to get Peter Moses. What you do? Bring him down. Sacrifice.
Didn't raise an argument, did he?
Because he knew what he did was wrong, but he was saving his team. Because if Moses had just gone past him, that would have been a different story altogether. And so the Black Stars players, Isaac Chum looking okay after picking up an injury against Nigeria. And most of the players in Ghana should be looking forward to a cracking game against Niger.
Chum very important for the host nation. Awaiting confirmation of whether he will start. Arewa Chukwu forward. Nothing doing for Okoro. Adele. Ifeanyi. That's a clever touch by Ali. Space has opened up here for Nigeria. And brilliantly stopped. Moses denied by Gologinon. Great work by the goalkeeper again, but that is much more like what we saw from Nigeria for the first 25 minutes.
Well, Benin switching a little bit. Nigeria taking advantage. Lucky to get the second goal, but they're still coming.
Okoro again down the outside, and that's as good as it got on that occasion, but that is much more like it from Nigeria.
Maybe probably thinking Benin have lost some bit of energy.
Yes, possibly so, or momentum. There have been two big chances in this second half, one at either end. Both spurned. Elegbedi for Benin, and now Moses for Nigeria. But it's still there in the melting pot. Which way will this semi-final go? This decision goes Benin ways.
Well, it's not over until it's over. 16 more minutes to go, plus stoppage time. Nigeria can get a second. Benin can come into the game, possibly.
Flags up. Gomez so bright again, making the run.
He's such an entertaining and exciting player in the game. 16 years once again, hammering on his age. But he's playing more like 20, 25 years. Yeah, very experienced and matured.
So that they don't know yet, the Ghana players, who will be in the final should they get there. The logic always said a Ghana-Nigeria rematch in the final, but there's an awful lot to be sorted out before that. Cleared by Fassino. Benin with a man down. Anide could take no part in that. Just a sense that Benin have gone off the boil slightly. That's sportingly done by Ali.
Well, I was a bit disappointed Nigeria took their foot off the gas when they had the advantage to go forward and allowing Benin to rather to do so. I felt it wasn't the best of decisions for them. But Benin have also done their part anyway.
And they may yet have a bigger part to play in this. Bessan. On by Ogulala. Well, at last, a moment of inexperience for the youngster showing itself. Not as strong on his right foot either. Perhaps a sign of anxiety creeping in there, Ben, that he felt he had to rush that and have a wild slash like that.
Well, that's ambitious anyway, but he needed to create something for himself.
But they can. They're well capable still of creating something and taking it.
Junior Solomon giving away a free kick. Benin need to defend it with their hearts. Rabiu Ali should be happy with a goal here.
Forward by Ifeanyi. Was straight and easily dealt with by Benin. Mama. Got caught in two minds a little bit, but the referee wasn't. And it's gone against him. Every decision that goes against Benin now, the crowd are up in arms about.
Well, I think the hesitation from the referee meant he didn't really know whether it was Mama's call or the Nigerian. But of course, the coach for Benin, Umar Shimogo, should be happy what he's been able to put together here.
Threaded forward by Ali. Well, Potu can't get on it. Benin come away. Bessan needs to be a bit more determined and assertive in the challenge than that, perhaps. There's not much of him physically. They're a big, strong side in comparison, Nigeria. And Potu goes away from his man. He's done that well, Potu. Still Potu. Tried to set it up for Moses.
Well, Benin trying to complain that leads a big centre back. Junior Solomon was pushed down by Peter Moses. And Claude beginning to have some harsh words there for him. Good play from Potu.
Look promising at this stage, and look at Moses arriving in the box. Solomon fully committed. And a yellow for Moses arising from that.
Good smile, good atmosphere at least. Ghana ready for Niger.
Lakas got half the job done, cleared by Okoro, but not very far clear. Benin still busy, still very much in the contest. Forward by Solomon. Matthias has gone into play on that right side, hasn't he? And I just wonder whether part of the thinking there, Ben, was, well, just give it some extra cover to the right back, Okoro, against Charbel Gomez, just in those areas there.
Well, I think that Nigeria have really exploited that wide areas in the game. They have been more central in the approach, and Benin also in the first half didn't really use Fasino. The little time they tried using him, they got the balls deep into the goal area of Nigeria.
No need for panic yet from Benin. Still 10 minutes plus stoppages. And they've worked it nicely wide right here to Fasino. Good stretch by Adelai. Sebu Mama. Launching one. Did well, actually. Not much of him. He doesn't have the biggest levers, arms and legs, does he? But he got a lot of wind up on that one.
And Nigeria desperately gets the ball out of the danger area by Matthias Samuel, which means that they have to go back and defend.
And now from the other side, it looks like Bayari's going to try an even longer one. Potu gives chase again. Dragging Nigeria down the field, but he's looking for a green shirt in support here. And one arrived, and it's brilliantly stopped. What a goal that would have been. It probably would have decided it. Aremu made up the yards, and Gologinon shoveled it to safety.
Good one from Potu. And guess what? When the long balls were set in, Potu knew he could use his speed against Yaro. What a ball it was. Look at the run. He kept asking for the ball, Remo. He got it right.
It's a great header downward. Here he goes again. And now maybe for Nigeria. Not quite. Potu denied himself this time. And Benin continue to hang on.
Hanging on by a thin thread. Nigeria looking like trying to get a second.
They are hanging on a bit, but remember they were hanging on and hanging on and hanging on against Niger, and we all know what happened in the last 5 minutes of that game. They're never beaten, this bunch in the yellow shirts here. Corner not very good. Flicked off the top of Akas's head. Benin will get the throw. Grateful to their goalkeeper then. He's kept hope alive.
Well, I think this tournament really has produced good goalkeepers as well. They've really saved their side, and Gologinon is one of them. Good goalkeeper, good goalkeeper.
Really good. Benin pressing and pressing. There'll be no extra time if they do level it late on here. It goes straight to a penalty shootout. Meantime, they get a corner. Gomez is keen to get on with it. And the crowd lift all around us. All except the few worried Nigeria supporters here. Charbel Gomez over the corner for Benin. Composure is needed for Nigeria. Not like that, given away by Ali.
Goalkeeper off his line, way off his line, but Nigeria will have Rabiu Ali to attend to. But it's going to be a good game for Benin, really.
There's not a lot in that, I'm afraid. Charbel Gomez, entitled to go for it. May have caught the toe of this fellow Ali, but I just wonder whether he's covering his own embarrassment having given the ball away.
Yeah, maybe, but really have to look at the work rate of this young man in the game. He's combed every part of the field and has been a part of the attacking play of Benin. I wouldn't be surprised that he probably might get some scouts taking him out.
Certainly he's on the radar now after this performance and indeed this tournament. Just a bit impetuous. Anyide.
I know some teenagers shrink when playing against more mature teammates, but he's been a standout performer for Benin.
Even if they are going home, they should be proud of all they've done in this tournament. Such a gutsy group. He's not giving up on it yet, and neither are they. That one big chance they carved out so well, and Jules Alebede squandered it. Former striker himself, he'd have loved to be on the end of it.
Yeah, now Nigeria want to throw in yet another striker. Come bringing on Gabriel Okechukwu, possibly Moses Peter Neji, but he's not the one going out. Rather, it's going to be Aliu.
So a day which started so very well for him, a brilliant goal. Long time ago now, finishing off that sweeping Nigeria move with such aplomb, such confidence. But Nigeria have struggled and struggled since then.
This man, very experienced. I did say 36 years, 7 children, and he still kept it going. The well cleared by Junior Solomon. Bayere needs to work hard.
Which he did, and he's got a free kick. Sent long by Gologinon, holding up on this breeze, which is blown directly down the field in the faces of Benin. Refreshing breeze on a sweltering afternoon here on Cape Coast. Anyide. Adelé returned it. Threaded up to Okpoto. He has Gabriel for company, looking for Gabriel here. Gabriel pokes it toward the goal, and it's off the line. Brilliantly cleared by Yaro. And still Benin are in it. They never quit.
Whoa. Good clearance there from Yaro.
That would have finished it, surely, for Nigeria. Maybe now Gabriel, he's gone through the lot, and he's missed it. He's missed it.
This is amazing. Gabriel did everything right, absolutely. Shooting wide, disappointed, kept his eyes on the ball. Didn't even look at the goalpost, but again, look at this one. A little bit of a touch there by Yaro. Good intervention.
Well, Benin are bound to be taking risks. Living dangerously, but hanging on in there just about. And Gabriel, if it goes wrong from here, he will not sleep tonight. What about the work by Yaro?
Hey, they have him, they're proud of him, they have confidence in him, and that's how come his partner, Junior Solomon, today.
That's not a very good restart by Gologinon. Gets away with that. They have got away with a few things, Benin. That's not a very good one either. Moses onto it again for Nigeria. But Nigeria should be clear and looking forward to savouring a place in the final. as it is, the semi-final is still alive. Bessan battling for it. Bayere. Bessan again. Benin's ball. Everybody is gripped by this. Some can't look.
Well, Rabiu Ali was just watching on. Meantime, corner kick advantage, Benin.
And it's going to be from their right side. I wondered whether it might be on the other flank. Gomez isn't coming across to take it. It's going to be Fassinu. Over the top it goes. Solomon a bit dejected. And the referee's coming down quickly to have a word with Azenwa. I'm watching you, he says. Don't start time wasting.
Well, this team should look into the future, Benin. They're a great side.
It's against Okpotu and against Nigeria.
Well, I do remember when, in 2004, Sir Jones Atukwe, blessed memory, got Benin into the AFCON. He put together a very young side. Omar Chimongo, the head coach, was part of the setup. And then Benin became a side which came out of nowhere to be known in Africa. But if they're coming out this way, they still have got talent.
They've got talent and they've got guts. Down to 10 men for so long in this game. 3 additional minutes to play. Okpoto doesn't find Gabriel this time. Hardly anybody's actually neutral in this ground right now. Gripped by this, certainly, but so many of the Ghana supporters willing Benin to come back even now.
Well, he got his team into this mess, and I know he's thinking, what on earth did I do? He should be worried, he should be disappointed. But his teammates have really been able to work things out to keep the scoreline the way it is.
It's gone against Benin this time. Little debate about that.
Not a good story there for everybody. Disappointed. At least they played their part in the game. They have been the surprise package, Benin, but they still have produced quality football. Young, talented footballers, and they have made everybody love them in this WAFU competition. Nigeria didn't start the competition well, but when they did put their feet on the accelerator, they have hit the road, and they should be happy about the performance. Not a day for this man, Kuku. Should have kept his cool. He should have.
We're in stoppage time. In truth, we've not even got stoppage time started properly yet. So the agony is not over yet for Salisa Yusuf.
Well, so it has been a very exciting time, but Nigeria will still come back in the game. Aremu with that injury situation, but should be okay to start again for his team, Nigeria, who look like a side heading to the finals of the competition. and they have their sights firmly on the prize money, $100,000.
Now, this is all going to be down to the discretion of the referee, how long we are going to be allowed to continue this. There was a yellow card in it, I think rightly, no dispute. He thought about doing something naughty then, but didn't, in fairness to him.
Well,
just hanging out a leg. And Matthias also carded, perhaps for the reaction.
Well, Nigeria thought at the point of bringing on a Kinsley Adowo, but I'm not too sure if they want to do it again.
Gabriel couldn't keep it, and just eluding Gomez. Moses, and maybe now for Okpotu for a flourish finally. No, he's offside. Quick restart. The ball was actually moving, I think, behind the referee's back. That would have been a talking point had Benin gone forward with it, but they didn't. And time finally runs out on Benin in this 2017 WAFU Cup of Nations. The 10 men. Marcelo Kukko left his teammates in a big hole, but mightily they responded as they tried to come back against Nigeria. It has not been enough for them, and it's a heartbreaking disappointment for a very gutsy group of players. And Salisa Yusuf would acknowledge that. But Nigeria are in the final. Stop-start, bearing the burden of near favouritism with great difficulty, in all honesty, throughout the tournament. They have scraped and scrapped. 0-0 against Mali, 0-0 against Guinea. They got their best going against Ghana, started brightly here, but they went into their shell in a big way once more. So still many questions to be asked, but the ends justify the means for Nigeria. They have reached their first major target, which is a place in Sunday's final. But it was mighty hard work. Benin 0, Nigeria 1.
Well, I think Benin should hold your heads up high. They've done a good job. Nigeria coming in the superior side. Remember, it was Nigeria that edged them out of the qualifiers, and so they should be happy about what they've been able to produce. Quality players, very young, talented, but they still have a long way to go, which of course can also surprise a lot of teams in Africa. They're not ready for the third and fourth on Sunday, but I guess Nigeria will be happy. They never started, as I said, as favourite though, but they have kept their composure right. Okpotu with a goal against Ghana. As soon as they got it, they knew they were going to the finals. And so they wait finally for who gets to win against the next game coming up, Ghana versus Niger. But what a team it is for these young, talented players. And he should be happy. At least he's part of this great team.
One of the young stars of the tournament, Charbel Gomez. And that is great to see that their spirits are lifted like that. They've every reason to be proud of themselves. The Nigerian fans are celebrating. And I suppose it's still running with the form book. The theory all along, Ghana and Nigeria in the final, but we're only halfway to that, with Ghana set to meet Niger in the second semi-final coming up here in the Cape Coast Stadium shortly.
Once again, the next match between here and the Cape Coast Sports Stadium will take place today at 6 p.m. between Ghana and Niger. Le deuxième match des demi-finales aura lieu tout à l'heure à 18h entre le Ghana et le Niger. Thank you. Merci.
Right, so as Nigeria continue to savour their place in the final. Let's get down to pitch side now and get some reaction, starting with the man of the match.
Félicitations Gomez, vous êtes Nasco, l'homme du match, et paradoxalement, vous perdez en même temps le match.
Ouais, bon, je remercie d'abord le public et mes coéquipiers. Bon, on a perdu le match, mais on n'a pas démérité. Bon, je vous promets de remporter la 3e place, si Dieu le veut. Merci beaucoup.
Merci.
Short and sweet, the kid. But what a prospect he is at just 16. And it's been a privilege to watch him in this tournament. And maybe a more considered view on their performance today now from the Benin coach.
Coach, on a vu le Bénin très bien jouer. La preuve, c'est que Gomez est l'homme du match. Est-ce que c'est le carton rouge qui a été le tournant du match?
Je pense qu'effectivement, aujourd'hui, le Bénin a produit du bon football. J'ai retrouvé mon équipe. On a pris un carton rouge, malheureusement, qui nous a pénalisés. Je pense que c'est le carton rouge qui a fait basculer le match.
Et maintenant, tout ce qui vous reste, c'est la 3e place. Est-ce que vous allez jouer avec la même envie de gagner, de vaincre?
Je pense qu'on va prendre les matchs comme ils sont. Comme je l'ai dit dès le début, on est arrivé pour gagner. On va aller le plus loin possible et j'espère qu'on aura au moins la 3e place. Merci.
Most certainly a man with a bright future as a coach. He's got a great ensemble going there. And as Ben has been saying, the possibility that their young players will only get better from here. Some very bright prospects. But it is Nigeria who are into the final, scraping there, one might argue. Let's see how it looks from their point of view.
Coach, it is Nigeria in the final. Have you reached your objective in this tournament?
Yeah, we did, because all the players that came, everybody start game. So now you see we can go back, analyze the people we think that can play in the CHAN, because everybody has given me opportunity. That's the most important objective for me. That now we see every player among the 18 that we will analyze to see who can be in the CHAN. And the second thing is always good to be in the final with any competition.
Now we've seen that Benin played 10 men against 11, and Nigeria scored early, but after that it was like Benin all over Nigeria.
Yeah, because they are looking for an equalizer, they need to equalize, and we need to consolidate the game. We cannot add, we need to retain the 1 goal.
And how do you see now the final, even though you don't know your opponent yet?
Yeah, we don't know. We are looking to the final with positive mind. Every time we come out to play to win, and anything can happen in football. Thank you very much.
Well, I think it's only fair to say slightly underwhelmed by the own level of performance of the Nigeria side, and that's only reasonable. Still a side with a lot more to come, and the question for that coach is whether he can get it out of them in the final against either Ghana or Niger, the second semi-final here at Cape Coast Stadium, which follows on the top of the next hour, and we hope very much that you'll be back with us to enjoy that with us. It should be something very special. But we sign off for the moment with the news that it will be Nigeria in Sunday's final.